Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm talking about one of my favourite subjects, which is skincare. Now I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time. I have had this book for ages now, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. So this is the book. It's the Little Book of Skincare by Charlotte Cho. Now she is the creator of SOKO GLAM, which is like a beauty bible of Korean skincare and beauty products, which you can actually buy from her website. I'll put a link to that below. What made this so popular is the Korean 10-step skincare routine, which blew so many minds. People were like, 10 products in one go? Like, how can you manage to use all that? Is it necessary? Is it even doing anything? Is it just being overindulgent? A lot of questions, a lot of thoughts about it, and I can tell you from doing it for many months now that it works. So I'm going to show you what I do and the products I use, so let's go. So if you're not used to quite an intense skincare routine, you might feel a little overwhelmed at this, but remember, you can buy your own versions, you can buy cheap alternatives. You don't have to stick to what I use or what Charlotte suggests. So there is 2 steps of the cleansing routine, and you would have heard of a double cleanse. I'm a huge believer in the double cleanse. I see it as the first step is to remove makeup, then the second step is to get deep down clean. So whether you don't wear much makeup, the first step could be to get rid of sunscreen that you've applied, to get rid of pollutants from the air. Imagine that. So it's taken off the first layer of nonsense. So step 1 is an oil cleanser. So the one that I use is by Suman, and it's a purifying cleansing gel oil. I'll also use a one that's in a balm form, and you take it out and you warm it between your hands and it turns into like an oil, and then you just kind of massage the skin, break down any makeup that you have and wash it off. Once you wash it off, the skin feels so soft, and it doesn't feel greasy as you might expect from an oil. It just feels soft and hydrated. I absolutely love the feeling of using oils. And even if you have oily skin, you can still use an oil cleanser. I'd actually recommend it. It just balances the skin, it keeps it calm. I'd avoid anything with alcohol, anything that's astringent, anything that leaves the skin feeling tight and dry afterwards. Keep away from products like that basically. So step 2 is the water cleanser, and I use the BioEssence Miracle Bio Water. So some of the products that Charlotte's recommended are foamy, but it's not the foam cleansers, you know, that really strip the skin. They're really gentle foaming cleansers. This one, it doesn't foam. It has like a jelly water texture. It's very smooth on the skin, and afterwards you do feel very clean. Think of this step as getting rid of any residue from the first cleanser, which is using the oil and such. So I feel like this is a really good step. If you don't have something like that, you could also use, you know, the micellar water. So that's just going to take off, as I say, any residue from step 1. So step 3 is exfoliation. Now this isn't something you're going to do every day. You definitely don't do it morning and night as well. So you do it maybe twice a week. I use different types of exfoliators. There's a chemical one, which is considered the acid. I like this one, which is by Suman. It's the exfoliating facial polish. It's made from coffee granules. This is classed as a mechanical cleanser because it has that texture to it. So I like both type of exfoliators, but it depends what kind of mood I'm in and how my skin is looking to which one I use. So step 4 is toners, and there's been huge debate around this, especially here in the UK. You know, do we need them? Are they necessary? Are they a vital part of the skincare routine? And I'm going to admit, I used to have an up and down relationship with toners just because of what was available when I was younger and the type of toners that I would use. They would definitely leave my skin feeling so dry and itchy that I just stopped using them. And it's only until recently I brought them back in and I started using very mild toners, ones that were basically there to balance the skin. So once you've cleansed, you've kind of unbalanced the pH level. A lot of cleansers are more alkaline, and what that does is, if you can imagine the pH 0 to 14, we're just below the middle, 5.5. That's where our natural skin pH is. Okay, and that's where it starts working at its best, and it's more effective and everything. Once you tip it up and you start going more alkaline, then it gets dry, it gets irritated, it gets red, and believe it or not, even though you have dry skin, you can actually get blemishes. So what you want to do is use something just to bring that pH back down, just so it's feeling calm again, basically. So I like to use products that are slightly more acidic, just to bring that back down. Now it is quite complex, it is very scientific, which is why I love skincare. And these are the ones that I use. So this one by Dolce & Gabbana is the Essential, and it's the alcohol-free toner. That's really important. Make sure you use a toner that doesn't have any alcohol in it. Another one that's really good, that is very popular, is by Pixi, and it's the Glow Tonic. This has 5% glycolic acid. This can also be classed as an exfoliator, but it is very mild and you can use this daily. And these are quite handy actually, because you can get them in the pads now. This is a new thing. So basically you would pour this onto a cleansing cotton pad, as you would with this one, and then gently sweep that across your face. And that is just going to neutralize the skin basically. But these ones come in the toner drenched on the pads already for you, so dead handy for traveling. So step 5 is the essence. Now this might be a whole new concept to people, a new word, like what is an essence? When I was looking into lots of skincare, I kept seeing these and I was like, what's an essence? What does it do? And it's kind of like a hybrid, I guess. It's like a serum, but it's a more watered down version. And I have noticed a huge difference in my skin since I introduced essences in. And there's slight different types of essences you can get, which I'll show you in a second. But essence, basically you apply after the toner, and these are patted into the skin. So you don't rub it in, it's literally put into your hand and then you tap, tap, tap. The tapping motion will improve circulation and also help with the absorption of everything. And then whatever you put on top of that is really going to sink in. And I noticed the improvement in the texture and the tone of my skin since using Essence. The one that I use is by Mizzen, and it's the Original Skin Energy Hyaluronic Acid 100. And this really leaves my skin feeling hydrated after I use it. It comes in a dropper form. And another one that I use is by Murad, and this is the Quenching Essence. It's the Hydrodynamic Quenching Essence. That one's just in a pump form. So you can either have them more liquid or slightly more on the serum side. So number 6 is ampules, boosters and serums. So if you don't know what an ampule is, it's basically just a small glass vial like this. You can break off the top and just pour it into your hands and then press it into the skin and do a light massage. A serum, just usually something like this in a bottle. I've been using the Pixi Hydrating Milky Serum and then just massaging it into the skin. Boosters, you can actually drop into your moisturizers if you want to and use it that way, or you can use it separately and then put your moisturizer on top. These are really effective because they're more concentrated than essences, and you can buy lots of different ones to work and target different things. So you might want to have ones that brighten the skin, or you might want something that's going to hydrate, so use something like the Pixi one. So number 7's sheet mask. These are hugely popular now and you can find them everywhere, even on the high street. This is something you would do twice a week, so again it's not another step that you'd do every time. And there's loads of sheet masks out there, different ones to target different things. This one for instance is the I think it's pronounced Tony Moly I'm Real Tomato Sheet Mask, and this one's for radiance. It's got tomato extract in there. Another one I have is from 111 Skin, and it's the Meso Infusion Hyaluronic Acid and Vitamin C. So this one is hydrating and brightening. This one is brightening. So as I say, you can literally buy these everywhere and they're not very expensive either. So step 8 is eye cream. A lot of people, wonder, is it necessary to have an eye cream? Can you not just use the moisturizer all around your face? And then there's other people who, say eye cream is essential. I like to use eye cream because if you think about it, the skin around your eye is delicate, it's thinner. It sometimes can puff up because, if you're using a moisturizer that's quite rich and you're carrying it on underneath your eyes, might be too heavy for underneath your eye area, and a lot of the time it can just cause a bit of puffiness under there. I mean, of course, if you're having late nights like I am, I'm being woken up constantly with our little baby, so you know, I can't blame puffiness on the moisturiser there, but a lot of the time I would say that, you know, some of the moisturisers that you can use can be too rich for underneath the eyes. This one that I have is perfect. It's a very cool sensation on the eyes for one, so you know, a lot of the time you might feel it's warm and you feel like it's a little bit heavy and puffy under there. This really cools and soothes the eye area, and it's very light as well. It's moisturising but not greasy or heavy in the slightest, so this is one that I really like to use. So step 9's moisturisers. Now I use different moisturisers for daytime and night. Obviously during the night I want something a little bit heavier, a little bit more nourishing. I like my moisturisers to be quite creamy and thick in general, because I just love that feeling. I love my skin to feel very moisturised and, you know, I'm not going to say like tacky to touch, but where you can feel the moisture on your skin. I just love that feeling. During the day I'll use this one. It's by Kiehl's. It's the Ultra Facial Cream. It's perfect. It just leaves my skin feeling very soothed and hydrated. And then on a night time I'll use something a little bit thicker, like the Weleda Skin Food, for instance. But you might prefer something lighter, like a lotion. So I would say check them out. So step 10 I think is the most important, which is sunscreen. I've been doing this for a long time now. Obviously you only use this through the day. You wouldn't do this step on a night time, okay? So you can totally miss this step out when it comes to your evening routine. But I like to use sunscreen before I put my foundation on. So it's my last step before makeup. And I've been doing this for a long time now. The one that I've been using is the Ultra Sun Professional Protection. And this is a sun protection for sensitive skin. It has no perfume in it or emulsifiers. And this is SPF 30. You can get higher ones. I also love the Clarins one, which is very thin in texture, slightly more watery than this. This is a little bit heavier, and it just sinks into the skin. You get none of that coloured residue. Some sunscreens leave the skin slightly pink, depends if they've got like pigments in there, you know, if it's more of a mineral sunscreen. This one, it works really well. It doesn't alter my foundation in any way. I've actually got it on now, so there you go. And it has antioxidants in there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, it's not 10 steps every time, and also your morning routine is going to be a bit different to your nighttime routine, so you might switch some products around. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.